Hi my loves, welcome back, welcome to my channel. Welcome if you guys are new. At this point we come to the end of the month and we all expect this video. It is my favorite video to film, you guys know this. I have some new additions to my TBR that I am really hoping I can manage to put on this TBR. Also, I'll say at the very beginning of this video, I am so sorry if this lighting constantly changes. I feel like we'll be fine, but just in case we're not, the weirdest weather outside. It is raining, it is storming, it is sunny, I don't know what's going on. So if the lighting changes, that is why, and I'm very, very sorry for that. But yes, as I said, we are picking our July TBR this month and I am so excited. I did a pretty good job with my June TBR. I cannot wait to talk to you about the books I read in June. The end of June is fast approaching. So as I said, it is time to pick our July TBR. As usual, we are doing the spinning wheel with prompts, picks my reads. So we just have a bunch of prompts. I would say 12 to 15 prompts on this spinning wheel. We'll spin it. We'll probably pick 5 to 6 prompts. I usually like to have 5 to 6 books on my TBR. I don't always get to all of them, but they're really good for me. Like that's what I go to pick up when I need to think about the books I'm reading next. And we'll try and prioritize books on my physical TBR. But if there's 1 or 2 books that like are on Kindle or something that I think will fit the prompt better or fit it best, then we'll go with them. So yeah, with all that being said, I feel like you guys know how it goes by now. But anyway, let's pick our first prompt of the video. An unpopular book, or just like a book I haven't seen on BookTok that's on my TBR because I just picked it up and I thought it sounded good, or I got it sent to me or something like that. I feel like this is a good one. I like reading books that I haven't heard of before. So let's go see what's on my physical TBR first. 2 books fit this prompt pretty well, I would say. I haven't really heard about either of them. One of them I have been putting on my TBR before and I just didn't get to it. Only once though, only once. The other one is Of Flame and Fury by Michaela Bridge. This is a new book that was only recently released. If not, it isn't quite out to the public yet. I think it is though. This was sent to me by Pan Macmillan. Do not even know what it's about, so let's figure that out on the back. It says, a fiery alliance, an explosive secret. The race is on. Phoenix Racing. It's profitable, it's deadly. No one knows better than Kel Vara and her crew, the Crimson Howlers. They live on the edge of survival. When a mysterious tech billionaire offers them a place at his training facility, it gives them hopes, but also forces Kel to team up with Coop, her arrogant, infuriating rival. This sounds really fun. This sounds so fun. It also isn't too long. It's 370 pages, so that's a pretty good length, I think. The other book that was on, and I haven't seen anything about this one. The other book is The Raven Scholar. Now, I had this on my TBR once, and I just didn't quite get to it because I put it on a stupid time. It's over 600 pages. It's a big book. It was intimidating to me. It's about a competition of 7 contenders who are competing to be Emperor of Oran. So that sounds really fun. So we've got like a competition / tournament aspect. It does seem like we have a little bit of a mystery going on as well. So that's really fun. I have been really intrigued by this one as well. And I haven't really seen anything about this. This only came out recently as well. So these are both such good options. You know what? I'm going to try and like fit these both on my TBR at some point anyway. But I feel like I want to go with The Raven Scholar. I just think this is, I put it on my TBR before and I would really like to get to it. And I do have a little bit more time this month coming up. So I think we're gonna go with The Raven Scholar. That sounds really fun to me. Our next prompt is a book you have because your followers recommended it. Okay, I have a few of these. I take your guys' recommendations very seriously because honestly, a lot of the time they turn out to be some of my favorite books. So let's have a little look and see what I've got on there because of you guys. 2 pretty good books that fit this prompt, I think. So the first one is A Reaper at the Gates. This is the 3rd book in the Ember Quartet. I may or may not have been continuing that series this month. So that means I would be up to The Reaper in the Gates, which is, as I said, the 3rd book in the series. I have quickly fallen in love with this series. It was recommended to me by you guys. The Ember in the Ashes is the 1st book. I just love the characters. I love the setting. Such a unique fantasy book, which I always crave. We don't always get fantasy books that feel really unique and refreshing these days. And so when I find one, I like hold on to it. I grab onto it. Just becoming quickly one of my favorite series I've ever read. Basically in the 1st book, we are following our main protagonist and she goes undercover into the main castle as a slave of the commandant, who is like this really awful person because her brother has been taken prisoner into the castle because he's rebelling against them and he is set to be executed. So she is trying to save him. As I said, very, very fun plot. Love the magic system. So that is a very good option for the next book. Don't hate me, guys. I still haven't gotten to these Infinite Fates. I haven't been avoiding this on purpose at all. This has been on my TBR, I want to say once or twice by now. I genuinely have not been avoiding this on purpose. I just keep kind of forgetting that it's on my TBR. To be fair, it's an ARC edition, so it doesn't have like a thing on the spine. So I feel like when it's on my bookshelf, I kind of forget it's there. I really need to read it because so many of you in the comments have been like saying that this is amazing and that I'd really enjoy it. Apparently the song that encompasses this book and the story is Exile by Taylor Swift. You're telling me I'm not going to enjoy this? Like, I think I will be. To be true to you, I should choose These Infinite Fates because to be honest, that's the one that you guys have been commenting the most for me to finally read. So to be true to the prompt, we're going to choose These Infinite Fates. I promise I have new books to add to this TBR as well. They're not not just the same. Number 3, prompt number 3, an author that is new to me. So a book by an author I have never read before. I haven't read any of the other of their works, of their series. I feel like I have a few of these. Let's have a look. Yeah, I definitely have a few. So obviously we have Of Flame and Fury, which I talked about before. I have never read anything by Michaela Bridge before, so that is definitely an option. I won't talk about it, obviously we already did. I also have Good Material by Dolly Alderton. I haven't read anything by Dolly Alderton. I've been meaning to for a long time now, but I haven't. And I believe this is a fiction book by her. She writes a lot of nonfiction, but I think this is like a contemporary romance / chick flick kind of fiction. I've heard really, really good things about it. I believe it is forced proximity kind of thing. I'm very intrigued by this one, but I do have one that I feel like will win. I've left that to last. How did I deserve this? I feel so undeserving of this. This is R.F. Kuang's newest release. I have not read anything by her. I have been intimidated. This is an ARC edition. This comes out in August of 2025. I got this a few days ago and I literally screamed when I opened it. I was like, how am I deserving of her newest release? This is not fair to anyone, but I have been itching to read this ever since it arrived on my doorstep. So I do think I'm gonna have to pick this for the prompt. This is, as I said, R.F. Kuang's newest release. R.F. Kuang wrote the Poppy War trilogy. I believe this is a book inspired by ancient Greece, I think. I think we're dealing with the underworld and everything like that. Obviously, to hell with love, literally. I think we're dealing with like Greek myths and the underworld, which would just be fascinating to me. So I kind of feel like this is a really good place for me to start with R.F. Kuang's works because I am a sucker for Greek mythology. Any kind of mythology I have always loved. I just find it absolutely fascinating. So I do think this, I don't think there's another option for this prompt. I think we're gonna have to go with this for, I'm terrible at pronouncing things, but I do believe it's called catabasis. Catabasis? I'm so sorry. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to go with this. The next prompt is a popular release or a book that is released recently that has been very popular. Just one that I haven't gotten to yet. I do have a few Kindle options for this. We may be going Kindle, but let me just have a quick scan. We're definitely gonna go Kindle for this because as I said, I have a few options for this. Number 1 is Ali Hazelwood's newest release. I haven't read this quite yet. I don't know why, I just haven't gotten to it, but I do love Ali Hazelwood. I love pretty much every book I've read by her. So I'm very excited to delve into that one. So that is definitely an option. The other one is Rewind It Back. This is the final book in the Windy City series. I love the Windy City series and it makes me so sad that it's coming to an end. But yeah, this is the final book in that series. I don't have it physically, but I've been reading the series on Kindle. So that's a great option. And then the other option is Enchantra. This is the second book to Phantasma. I enjoyed Phantasma and I think Enchantra we are following the sister from Phantasma, which would be really interesting. But because we've got 3 fantasy books on our TBR already, I think we're gonna go with a romance. I'm very tied between these two. Rewind It Back or Ali Hazelwood. I think we're gonna go with Rewind It Back. I love the Windy City series. I've had such a fun time reading it and I think that's a really good option. I feel like it's the right option. If you didn't know, the Windy City series is a sports millionaire romance series. They're all interconnected standalones, so in each story we're following a different couple. My favorite so far have been The Right Move and Play Along. Very excited to continue this and I've seen really, really good things about this. So yeah, that can be our 4th book on the TBR. We'll see. Do we go for 2 more? I think we go for 2. Literally the queen of creating unrealistic TBRs, but anyway. My 1-word title, that's the next prompt. I mean, Enchantra is a 1-word title. I don't know if I have any more, let's have a look. I think Enchantra and then this book, Jaded by Ella Lee, is the only books that fit this prompt. Jaded, I haven't heard a lot about, but the people I have seen read it have absolutely loved it. This is a contemporary fiction. We are following Jade, who is a successful daughter, a dutiful daughter, a beloved girlfriend, and a loyal friend. And one day Jade wakes up in the morning after a work event, naked, alone, and no idea how she got home. Caught between her parents who can't understand, her boyfriend who feels betrayed, and her job that expects silence, the world Jade has constructed starts to crumble. Jade thought she was everything she ever wanted to be, but now she feels like nothing at all. I'm very much leaning towards this one because I've heard it's just absolutely incredible and I've really been liking to dip my toes into some genres I'm not as comfortable in. I've been liking to step out my comfort zone. Every time I have so far, I've loved it. Like I read Blue Sisters and that was definitely a favorite for me. I absolutely loved it. I loved the characters. I loved the way it was written. Every time I do venture into the contemporary fiction side of things, I usually enjoy myself. Like 9 out of 10 times I'll enjoy myself. So I think we're gonna go towards this one. As I said, I'm just like really breaking it up. That way we've got a few different genres we're going on about. This one isn't too long. It's only 350 pages. So I feel like it's a good length. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with this one. We'll pick one more prompt just for the hell of it. Okay, let's do our last prompt for the month. I do need to top up my TBR to be honest, but anyway. I said I would do that this month. I kind of did and then I read some of the books I bought. A 5-star prediction. This is a great one to end on. Okay, we have a few options for this. Okay, not as many options as I thought, but it's fine. So obviously we have A Reaper in the Gates. I feel like this has the potential to be a 5-star. Honestly, I've just been obsessed with this series. And this is, I've heard, a lot of people's favorite in the series. So I think this is a great option that could be a 5 stars. The other option I have, well, not this, A Kiss of Deception. I did read this last month, sorry, spoiler. But the second book is Heart of Betrayal. And I have been seeing so many people say that the series gets so incredibly good. This was really high rating for me, so I do feel like that has the potential as well. So these are both continuations in series that I have started. Highly recommend both of them. But I think we're gonna go with Reaper in the Gates. I would just love to finish the Ember Quartet. Obviously I have another 2, this one and the 4th, but I would love to finish it. I feel so successful when I finish series, and I think continuing series I'm further along with is probably a good idea. So I think we're gonna go with A Reaper at the Gates as the 6th book on this TBR. So let's do a little summary, shall we? First we have The Raven Scholar. This I believe is borderline high fantasy. I don't know if we have any romance, but it is kind of a contest setting. Next we have Our Infinite Fates. If I don't get to this month, I'm done. No, I'm kidding. Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford. Very excited about this one. Catabasis. I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong. I'm so sorry. But by R.F. Kuang, her newest release. I feel so spoiled and so incredibly grateful to have this in my hands. I will be reading this as soon as I can. Jaded by Ella Lee, a contemporary fiction, stepping outside our comfort zone. And then Reaper at the Gates, the 3rd book in the Ember Quartet series. So we have a very, very promising TBR for the month of July. I am very excited. Hopefully we can get to most of these books, if not all of these books. But yeah, very excited for this one. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you had fun choosing my TBR for the month with me. And I hope you've got some exciting books in the month ahead of you. I love you all so much and I can't wait to see you in my next video.